big of a stage is this, for this offense and the team to kind of be on?
I think you approach it the same way you approach every week. The environment will be different. Hopefully it's a phenomenal environment, great opportunity for our fans to see us in Monday night prime time. So hopefully we get to experience that and the guys feel that, but really the way you approach it is just like every other game. You kind of have to have that same process-oriented mindset where you're taking every day as its own day, every week as its own week. And if you treat this game any different than the previous couple of games or the future couple of games, then that's really not doing justice to the games that we play at 1 o'clock on, at home, away, on the road, on all those different time slots. So we approach it the same way. It's another game for us in that mindset, but we're obviously excited to see the environment and the fans.
4 games in, Trevor Lawrence now has 4 regular season games in this new offense under his belt. What sort of track do you feel like he's on? Is he ahead of schedule where you kind of wanted him to be, kind of right where he needs to be?
Sometimes putting it on a schedule or a definitive schedule is tough because there's so much gray and there's so many conditional things that happen out there on the field, or the guys he's playing with, or certain things will happen on certain plays that you don't anticipate or that you don't prepare for exactly in that situation. And there's so many different ways you can handle all those different situations. So you don't necessarily have a schedule saying he has to be here with this exact number of yards or this exact number of completions by this week, and then by the next week it has to be that. But I think you see the progress from an overall perspective when you kind of zoom out and see where we started in the spring, where he was in training camp, and where he is. You see bits of progress show up. It's not going to be linear where everything's going to be perfect in a straight line going from where we started to what we're going to. There's going to be ups and downs. He knows that, we know that, but you see the progress show up in bits and pieces. The goal is to continue to build on that progress, and hopefully January, February, we're saying the same thing about where we are there relative to now, that we say now relative to the spring. So if we continue to keep building the way we're building, I'm confident that that improvement will continue to come.
Hey Grant, 3rd and short, it's probably less than average right now for you guys. What has sort of been, why have defenses made it so tough for you to run on 3rd and 1 and 3?
There's been a number of different things, kind of similar to we talked about evaluating the quarterback. Each one of those is its own instance, and each one of those kind of has its own breakdown. So you go back and you evaluate the whole picture. What are we doing holistically that we can improve on as an offensive unit? And then how does each play break down? And when you look at it, each one kind of fails for its own unique reason. Now, we still have to address what's the best way of mitigating those risks and preventing that from happening overall, because we know we would like to be at a much higher percentage on those down and distances. But I think the variation of fronts and the variations of coverages and pressures that we've seen is something that we need to do a better job of handling and building a plan to put guys in a better place to attack those different variations. I think the combination of that, having cleaner plans for those things, and the guys having some more experience in those situations where there are looks you might not see, or more challenging looks, or something that doesn't show up the entire game except for that one play, they're more prepared and they can handle that better moving forward.
Liam said it takes a village to, kind of prepare for Chris Jones. Just what kind of challenge does he present, just considering his versatility? He might be inside, might be outside.
I would echo Liam's exact thoughts. The fact that he can line up inside, outside, he can rush with a variety of moves, speed, power, get to the quarterback in a bunch of different ways, affect the run game in a bunch of different ways. Makes it challenging as coaches, but it also puts stress on the players that they have to identify him, know where he's at, know the different techniques and moves and different change-ups that he has and how they want to approach blocking him or approach attacking him. So it's an every single time he's on the field type thing where you have to be aware of where he is and what your plan is for him. Whether it's red zone, open field, 3rd down, it's every single down.
And then seeing Chuma and Cole step in last week, the offensive line, kind of stayed the course. How much confidence did that give you, just seeing in actuality the depth kind of play out?
I would say it confirmed the confidence. It's something we probably saw in training camp a little bit that we talked about with those groups. There was a lot of questions on why the lineup is changing so much and why guys are playing at different spots, why guys are going with the ones, why guys are going with the twos. And it was really for that instance. We referenced that it's very rare for an offensive line, the same 5 guys, to play the entire year in the exact positions that they started the game and finished the season in those exact positions. So you saw that come to life in that San Fran game, and that was a little bit of the fruits of those guys' labor and their flexibility and versatility. They'll play guard, play tackle, play some tight end at different times, rotate in at different positions. So it's a testament to their work and all the work they put in, really not just in the week preparing for the game, but the whole training camp, spring, everything leading up to that.
When you're going through the process of figuring out what you want to do with Travis Hunter every week, do you find yourself going, we've given him too much, and then maybe other moments going, we haven't given them enough, or we haven't used them enough, or we wanna use them more, or maybe we should use them less? How do you, does that go through your head? when
It's
you're
certainly
doing it?
like anything in the game plan where you're evaluating it. Every single week you're evaluating it, and then even during the week you're evaluating it as you're building the game plan. There's absolutely a push and pull of saying what's too much, what's enough, because we want to try to maximize and at the same time optimize his time on the field. We know there's a lot being asked of him mentally and physically with offense, defense. So we want to try to keep things as efficient as possible while still capitalizing on those talents. You see it on that third down, you see it in different situations when he gets catch and run. So we're always exploring what's the best way we can find, what's the best way we can get him on the field and let him go play fast, go play free without detracting from all the other things he has to do.
When you look at a lot of the holding calls offensively, do you feel like that's an issue right now, or it's more of just kind of circumstantial or fluky so far?
I don't think we can ever approach anything like that as circumstantial or fluky, just from our mindset. We have to stick with that mindset of controlling what we can control and what's the way that we can improve the situation. So how can we improve it? We can improve it by trying to be better with our technique, our fundamentals, maybe as coaches putting the guys in better positions and doing a better job of teaching and emphasizing those techniques and fundamentals so those holds and all of those penalties really don't show up. So we have to approach it really with how can we improve that as opposed to brushing it off as fluke, even if something were to be a one-off here or there. We try to take accountability for all that stuff that happens on the field and always evaluate what's a way we can improve it, what's a way we can find a way to fix those issues.
What did you miss most about not having Diami, and what does he give you guys?
Diami provides a lot in terms of run game and pass game. I think his toughness and his effort shows up in the run game that you might not always see on TV, but from the sideline or from a coach's perspective, you see him doing a lot of work, inserting on blocks, digging out safeties, blocking corners. Sometimes he ends up on a linebacker every now and then. His toughness is felt in the run game, and it's felt when another guy's getting the catch and he's transitioning the block. You'll see someone else take the catch and run down the field, and he's down there blocking for the guy. And we love that effort. That effort is infectious for the entire team, the entire offense, really. So you see that in the run game. Then you see in the pass game his ability to run really a wide variety of routes. When he's outside, he's lined up inside. He's another guy that over the course of time, as he become more and more comfortable with the offense, has really improved his versatility to run a bigger route tree, get the ball in hand that he's done in previous years, but adding that layer gets him each kind of level of the field where he's been deep, he's been short ball in hand, now he's got the intermediate layer over the middle, outbreakers. So that continued growth has been encouraging, and when we have him out there, I think the guys feel that energy that he brings.
Hey Grant, when you're watching a play from the sideline of the game, the ball is snapped, do you watch the ball, or is your responsibility, you want to watch the front, the coverage?
It can depend on play a little bit based on what we're doing, but most of the time I'm watching essentially through the defense into the offense. If you've practiced that play all week and you've gone through it, you know where guys are supposed to be lined up, you know what they're supposed to be doing, you know who they're supposed to be blocking or what routes they're supposed to be running. So assuming that they're in the right position at the right time and we get that executed correctly, you know what that's going to look like from our 11 standpoint. So you're really trying to see how's the defense reacting to what our 11 are doing.
Thank you.
Thanks.